didn't get but 2 hours sleep before that fight started. I'm going up to my room.
Sheriff Purcell said that no one was to go upstairs until he said so. I wouldn't get him annoyed if I were you.
Where do you think you're going?
Upstairs to bed.
Not till I say so.
I've already told him that.
Come on with me.
Well, Sheriff,
Yeah?
any objection if I go over to the livery stable and bed down in some nice clean straw?
Why, no. Not if you can fight your way past my deputy outside.
Well, this key works the door. What I want to know is how many others will do the same thing.
Well, just one, the master key.
Master key, where's that kept?
Kept downstairs in the desk drawer. Locked.
Was it there tonight?
Yes, I looked.
You sure? Sure enough to swear to it under oath?
You bet I will, Sheriff.
Hey?
Sheriff, Mr. Ogilvy, this is terrible. I mean, shooting a man's one thing, but a knife in the back. Big man like Hoss Cartwright using a knife, I just can't get over it.
Body was lying here face down. This is the knife that was in his back. Hoss Cartwright was standing there.
Rest of the room the way you found it?
Yeah, pretty much so. That table was knocked over when I busted through the door.
Let's go somewhere beachy. What about Cancun sand? It's so soft.
We have a flight for that.
A window locks a mouse could bust. How come these door locks are so good?
Well, when the hotel was building, a hardware drummer came by. Didn't have any money, but he had a trunk full of fine locks, and old man McGregor bought them all.
All right. All right, you can go.
What were you saying about locks?
The room clerk said there's only 2 keys will open that door. The one I found here in the room, and when it was locked up downstairs. Well, looks like the clerk was right.
Yes, and I'll be interested in Cartwright's explanation of this. This is Mr. Ogilvy, gents, the county prosecutor. Ever see it before?
Yeah. In Edward's back.
What about you?
It's Hoss Cartwright's. I wouldn't just like it.
Did Cartwright have a knife when you searched him at the jail?
No, sir, he sure didn't.
I've got all I need, Sheriff.
When'll I see Hoss?
Well, tomorrow, the next day, maybe. Whenever Mr. Ogilvy says you can.
I need a room.
Court finds the evidence presented by the prosecutor more than sufficient to substantiate the charge. The defendant, Hoss Cartwright, is hereby bound over. The court directs Sheriff Purcell to produce said defendant in this courtroom 3 days from today to stand trial on the charge of murder in the first degree. Court's adjourned.
I'm sorry, Cartwright, but that's all I can do for you.
Nobody talks to the defendant except his lawyer and his kin. I told you that before. Prosecutor Ogilvy's ruling, it applies to the courtroom as well as the jail.
Never been so glad to see anybody in my whole life.
How's boss?
He's not hurt or anything, but things are about as bad as they can get.
Where's the jailhouse? This way. Have you seen him?
The sheriff won't let me in. He won't let anybody in except his family and that lawyer.
What lawyer?
Court appointed. He quit.
What?
It's good riddance. He didn't spend more than 3 minutes in the jail with us. At the hearing, he didn't open his mouth. I tried to get him another one. There's not a lawyer in this town who wants anything to do with the case.
I'll put these with the one I took from Candy. Well, none of you need them till after the trial. You pick them up on your way out of town.
Oh, why just us? There's other people in town wearing guns.
Because I say so. Nathan Ogilvy, county prosecutor. Salt Spring is a quiet town, Mr. Cartwright. We want to keep it that way. You Ponderosa people come equipped with explosive tempers and short fuses. We already have one murder to prove that.
Just a moment. You're the prosecutor or the judge?
As a father, Mr. Cartwright, I sympathize with you. As a prosecutor, I must tell you your son stands accused of a most heinous crime. And I'm sworn to see that he pays the full price the law exacts for that crime.
I want to see my son.
Of course. Take them in, Sheriff.
Got here as soon as we could.
You've changed horses 3 times, Wake Pomeroy. You think you work for the Pony Express?
Hoss, tell us what happened.
I wish I knew. I mean, I don't really know. You see, it all started, Bull. I sold this fella Edwards 1,000 head of steers, all on a handshake deal, just a plain handshake guarantee, while you were in San Francisco. Well, I got to worrying about it, see, and Candy and me, we rode out here to check on him, and we got here, and sure enough, he backed out on the deal. He decided to buy it from Mort Becker at $1 a head cheaper. So I went to him and tried to get him to pay me the $2,000 earnest money that he'd guaranteed me on a handshake to start the drive. He wouldn't do it. He tried to throw me out of his room, and we got into a scuffle. Sometime during the scuffle, he or somebody hit me over the head, and I don't remember what happened after that. God damn it, I just don't know.
McCain, make it a Friday.
When dehydration gets real, rehydrate with Pedialyte to feel better fast.
Well, Mr. Van Buren regrets it, but it's impossible to take another case at this particular time.
Doing about as good as you did. 3 tries and 3 turndowns.
I didn't get the pretty speech. Just plain no.
Candy, you say there were 4 lawyers in Salt Spring?
Oh, more like 3 and a drunk named Barney Sturgis.
Burgess. Wait a minute now. There's a great trial lawyer in Sacramento some years ago by that name. If it's the same one. Where's his office?
Around the corner, up the stairs.
Mr. Sturgis?
Yeah?
My name is Ben Cartwright.
How are you?
This son, Joseph.
How do you do?
Sturgis. And, this is,
Yeah, I've been seeing you around on the street.
How do you do?
Sorry this place is so crowded. I'm not much of a housekeeper. Yeah, there you are. Oh, yeah. Oh, a little friend of mine. Good soldier. Was with him when he died.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Sit down. Come on, sit down.
You're Ben Cartwright. Your son Haas is in jail. He's in big trouble.
Mr. Sturgis, my son is charged with murder. Now, there's no doubt...
Wait a minute. I show this young man I'm not as far gone as he thinks. I value my privacy. And I sit in saloons alone. But I listen. I hear what's going on. You're trying to hire a lawyer. But they're all too busy. The truth is, nobody wants to buck Nate Ogilvy. It ain't smart. Not if you want to make a living in the law business in this town.
Is that how you feel about it?
Oh, it doesn't make any difference how I feel. I'm not fool enough to think I could defend a murder charge. And sure, you're not fool enough to want to hire me. But even if you had a good lawyer, it wouldn't help much. What you need is a miracle.
A miracle or not, my brother didn't do it.
Your opinion. Unfortunately, the good people of Salt Springs have already tried and convicted him.
Mr. Sturgis, we need legal help. And you're the only man available. At least you could get a postponement.
Won't do you any good.
Well, even a clerk could get a postponement.
All right, find a clerk. Leave me alone.
You used to have a reputation as a fighter. I remember you in a murder case. Any case would be a challenge.
Before this, now nobody would trust me to witness a signature, let alone go into a court. And I like it that way.
Mr. Sturgis, my son needs your help. And you're going to have to help him.
I could never make it. No, go away. Leave me alone.
You'll make it. We'll see to it that you'll make it. We'll walk you around until you're stone sober, and you'll walk into that courtroom and you'll get that postponement.
You don't know what you're asking.
Yes, I do. There's got to be a shred of guts left in you. We need your help.
All right. I'll try. What was the fight about?
I've told you 3 times already, Mr. Sturgis.
Yeah, but I didn't hear you. Wait, you did tell me something about money, but I want to hear it again. Now, you and Candy rode in. Then, Candy took the horses to the livery stable, and you went into the hotel.
That's right. I went in the hotel, I went straight to the clerk. I was just about to register when he told me that Mr. Edwards was up in room 14. So I went right on up there.
You made it him. You hunting for trouble?
I told you already, Mr. Sturgis. Mr. Edwards owed me $2,000 earnest money that he was supposed to pay when we went on the trail with the cattle. He didn't show.
So you went on up to 14.
That's right. I got up there and the door was open. He was in there having a drink with Mort Becker. I went in, I told Mr. Edwards I wanted the $2,000 and I wanted a contract for the rest of the money to be paid when we delivered the cattle. And he told me the deal was off.
Is that why you killed Becker?
I didn't kill him, confound it.
How long are you gonna let this drunk keep it up?
He's doing better than he was. What are we going to do? Is the only lawyer we can get?
Some lawyer has trouble remembering what he just heard.
And now he finds his way to the courthouse.
Well, there are times when he can't. You know, most times I feel sorry for people who hire old Bottle Barney. This time it don't make no difference. In over 20 years of law work, I never seen a more open and shut case.
made Becca mad.
Well, I told Mr. Edwards that Becker didn't have 1,000 head of cattle. Didn't even have 500 unless they were stolen.
How'd you know that?
Well, less than a week ago, he was bumming meal money around Virginia City.
Hey, you know, it's a good thing Ogilvy didn't hear you say that. How could Edwards give you $2,000 if he was broke?
That, Barnett, it wasn't Edwards that was broke, it was Becker.
Oh, I didn't hear it right. Yes. Becca. It was Becca who left room 14.
That's right.
You tell me how much money Edwards had in his pocket.
Be glad to, Mr. Cartwright. He had $104 and a gold watch. So if you're thinking of robbery, forget it.
He came at me with a chair, he missed, hit a table, and I took it away from him, or what was left of it. And about that time, I remembered this shadow coming over my shoulder, and somebody hit me over the head. The next thing I knew, I woke up and I was looking at Candy and the sheriff.
Hit you on the head. Let me see.
Well, it was the day before yesterday. It's already gone.
Yeah. And it was your knife that they found in there.
Yeah.
And you haven't any idea how it got into Edwards' back.
I told you I didn't know.
All right, Barney. That'll be enough. Let's go.
No, Paul. He was a little mixed up at first, but he's doing all right now. Somebody's going to have to ask him questions anyhow.
I'll see you in court. I'll be able to get to my office before I fall down. Tomorrow, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to walk into the courthouse. I'll get your postponement. I sure hate to have to take it all the way through. I'm not saying he's guilty. I don't think he did it. Why, that moose could have slapped that Edwards right through the wall. He's not one to use a knife.
Of course he's not.
And that makes 4 of us. But that jury would find him guilty without leaving the box. Well, I gotta get to my office. See, before I go for that postponement, I got some reading to do.
I'll walk along with you.
Oh, don't bother.
No bother at all.
There's nothing up there but a lot of old law books and dust. On the corner there's a saloon. You can get a beer. I'll meet you there as soon as I track down those precedents that I'm looking for. We gotta nail this down tight. That old Judge Simpson he's a mean old goat.
All right, see you in a little while. Put it down.
I said, put it down! I just want a little lips and nail me back together again.
Oh, you're gonna drink. You're gonna drink, all right, black coffee. I'm gonna fill you full of it while you do that book work. And then after that, we're gonna walk again.
I've done all the walking I'm gonna do.
No, you're gonna walk. We're gonna go to the hotel so we can keep an eye on you, because when you walk in that courtroom tomorrow, you're gonna be the soberest man in Salt Springs.
Why don't you go away and leave me alone? I don't want this job.
We don't want you either, but we're stuck with you. Now, after you get that postponement tomorrow, you can do anything you want, but until then, you're gonna do what I say.
I don't like delays, Mr. Sturgis. We've never had to call in outside help to solve our legal problems before. And since the defendant has a lawyer, I see no reason to start now. Motion to postpone denied.
If the court please, we haven't had time to prepare an adequate defense.
I'll give you time. It's 10 o'clock now. This court is in recess until 1 p.m.
So when the judge denied that postponement, he dang near fell down.
Well, if there isn't anybody else, we're stuck with him.
Well, there's got to be somebody.